Hi, this is Mike, and in this video I'm going to take a course outline like this and see how one might be able to design an online version of that course and use a CRM and tag-based management for permissions as well as notifications to implement this course. So this is a course, the Agent Awards Accelerator course from Lara Arden, a fantastic course, and she's gone to great lengths to make this course very relevant and well designed. And so what we're going to look at here is an interim design to see how that might be implemented in WordPress and Groundhog. And for this particular implementation, we've decided that we don't need to use a learning management system. However, that is an option that we can fall back on if we need to. So let's get started. So one of the reasons for creating a diagram like this is to keep track of some of the automation that has to happen behind the scenes, some of the communication that has to go out to users and also to notifications to administrators and course leaders, and some of the other activities that are happening in parallel as well. Okay, so let's just start with the original course design. So the original course design here is laid out in a table, and it shows that there are 3 stages. So there must be a progressive limitation between the 3 stages. Our learner has to complete stage 1 first before they go on to stage 2 and then stage 3. However, I did check with Lara and just to confirm whether we need to limit their sequential progress through each stage. And at this stage, we don't need to limit a person's progress through here. And that kind of makes sense because of the anticipated learners that will enter this course may come in with different levels of knowledge in these areas, and they may simply be more interested in some of the later topics rather than the earlier topics. So all of the material will be available in each stage once a person gets access to that stage. And then there is a kind of a gateway, and I'll show you how that's been set up, although that may change. It's the one-on-one Zoom meetings that actually serve as the gateway. I'll explain that further on. Okay, so within each stage as well, there are 3 sub-stages, and they provide opportunities to take stock as well. So I'll show you how that may influence the communication and notification and tracking of the learner through the course. Also, I've been advised that we don't need a quiz function in this course, although again that may change in the future. And the consequence of that is that we may not actually need a learning management system. So we can implement this just using a membership function, and what I've decided to do is implement a membership function via a CRM. The reason for that is that it allows easier control and more flexibility over communications. So, okay. So that shows overall the structure of the course. 9 lessons, another 9, and another 9 lessons. And then also emails associated with these. I'm not sure if they're going to be daily emails. I think they're more likely to be associated with each lesson, because daily emails would be a lot of work. And then also live Q&As, and we've had discussions about this as well, which I'll go into. And then the Zoom meetings may not be weekly. They're more likely to be tied to a particular progress point. Okay, so that's an overview of the course. Okay, and here is a nicer view of that, which is intended to be more or less the landing page of this course, and may in fact form part of the marketing for this course as well. So that looks great, very professional, clean, and with great visuals and copy, because Lara Arden is a fantastic copywriter as well as a presenter. Okay, so from here, let's move down into what this first stage might look like. Initially, we focus on the first stage here because it will be more or less repeated for the following stages, and then we'll look at an overview of the whole thing as well as the ending of the course. And of course, we also need to look at how they stage between stage 1 and stage 2, how that transition works. So let's have a look at what I envisage this might look like in the website. And so drip access and notifications are going to be managed by the CRM. In this case, the CRM will be Groundhog, but it could be another CRM. And so what these lines are intended to do is show what's going on behind the scenes. So firstly, the tag is added to the user that they have access granted to the entire course, and that tag is shown there, which contains the name of the course, because I anticipate there will be other courses as well. So you can see the nomenclature of this tag here, course AAA, and then stage 1, access granted. That's going to put a person into a funnel, and that funnel is going to do a couple of things, well, 3 things specifically, but maybe more. Firstly, it's going to allow them to access stage 1 through another tag here, S1, L1 access granted, and that gives them access to the very first lesson. Also entering that funnel will send them a course and stage 1 welcome email, which is indicated there. And that email also generates a notification to both the course admin and the course leader, or the system admin and the course leader. So that's just a background notification there, indicating that someone has in fact enrolled on and is about to start the course. In addition, another tag will also be added to the user upon entering this funnel, and that sets them up for the weekly Q&As. And we haven't really looked at how they're going to be implemented as yet. They're probably, well, they will be Zoom, but how that integrates to the various stages in the course is yet to be decided, because the intention here is that this is just weekly contact with all the students, and of course the students may be at different stages, different lessons, and also different stages, and potentially maybe even different courses or alumni, so past graduates as well. So that's got to be kind of further discussed. Okay, so that then enters the learner into a funnel, and this would have been initiated by the purchase of a product or a bundle of products. So that would be e-commerce, WooCommerce probably, integration with the Groundhog CRM, adding that tag as a consequence of purchasing the product associated with this course. And of course then, so before that is the whole marketing effort and funnels as well. Okay, so that's getting them started on the course. Now, once they've started on the course, you can see that there is a sequence of lessons, and I've grouped them according to threes, because in stage 1 there were 3 sub-stages. And so now this loop here is repeated for each lesson, but I've only shown it once here, just to show what happens. So as they are detected to access initially that content, right, the very first time they view that page, the CRM will detect that and add this tag, which is AAA S1 Lesson 1 accessed, and that indicates to the system that they've started the course proper. They've actually started to access and interact with the content. And it may be, in fact, it may make a lot of sense for us to add a notification to the course admin here as well. Okay, because there may be a significant time difference between when they're enrolled on the course and when they actually start the course. And it may be, for example, that if that time difference is too great, it takes them too long to actually get started, the administrator or the allocated course leader may in fact contact them and just check to see that everything's okay. So that's a kind of a safety valve there with this extra notification between when they're welcomed and when they actually first start the course. Now the idea is that each of these lessons will have a complete button that the learner would press to indicate that they believe that they've finished this lesson, and that's going to add another tag to them, and that is this one here, AAA S1 Lesson 1 Complete. And that then gives them access to the next lesson. But this is a function that would force progress in a sequential manner. And the only reason I've left this function in here is in case we need it at some point. So just to show that it's possible to force a student to go through the lessons in order and finish one before they go on to the next one. But what in fact we will do is just give them access to all the lessons and then only use this function if we need it. Okay, so then they progress through the course, and at each point they will be sent an email, which I've tagged here as encouragement emails, just to you know, reward them for the effort of getting to that course. And these emails can have relevant information for this lesson and also for the next lesson. Perhaps one of these lessons might be a little challenging, so that the previous email can kind of flag that. And also, of course, the email would contain information about how to contact the course leader or instructor should they run into any obstacles. And that will be backed up by the weekly Q&As. And the idea with the weekly Q&As is that some time would be allocated to people on different stages. So there might be a stage 1 section of this Q&A, stage 2 and stage 3 section of this Q&A. And it may in fact be really useful because some of the questions and answers from other stages may be relevant or may further motivate the people that are currently in earlier stages. Okay, so as you can see, they progress through the course, and I've just indicated here that there is a one-on-one Zoom session associated with lesson 4 and also associated with lesson 9, so that they get some one-on-one contact time with the instructor. And I've just indicated that twice within this course because I'm mindful of the load on the instructor, particularly as we scale this up with more learners. Okay, so there's a notification to the course leader to indicate that it's time to do a Zoom there, and then also a Zoom here after lesson 9. And then having completed that with the instructor, that is a good way for the instructor to indicate that that stage is complete for that student. And so this add tag, AAA S1 complete, might be a manual tag completed by the course leader. So that indicates stage 1's complete. Then there's a nice little graduation congratulations for stage 1, bit of motivation to get on to stage 2, and then the system will add a tag to indicate access granted to stage 2. And that indicates that transition, and then you know the system basically repeats stage 1 again, but just for stage 2, and of course with different content there. And meanwhile, the weekly Q&As are continuing, and similarly, stage 2 is completed, which gives access to stage 3. And similarly, stage 3 is completed. And then we have some kind of course completion process. Now, this course completion process here can be as simple or as complex as is needed, but it may in fact be that there's a wrap-up of some kind, and that may involve further communication, and it also may involve cross-selling or on-selling to the next courses and other products that Lara has on in her repertoire and online. Okay, and then of course the tag that the course is complete, so that the CRM can then just sort of exit her out of that funnel that we put the learner in. And that wraps it up. So basically the stage triplicated here intended to reflect the course outline up here. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to presenting the finished product.